Setbacks. I've had a lot of setbacks. They're a constant. They never go away. They're always cropping up. Always something. They're a daily occurrence, it seems. And setbacks come in many forms. Whether it's the digital equipment that we used failing, or creating a project that no one sees, algorithms not putting your video out there, bookstores not showcasing my books not getting noticed much at all, or having a broken tooth. It's just constant setbacks in our lives, and a huge variety, but we keep going. Hey, that's what we do, how we deal with them. We keep going, we sort it out. We don't stop. We may want to give up and throw in the towel, and why bother? What's the point? Stuff this, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just a waste of time. I'd be better doing something else. I'm an award-winning author. In 2026, I've been published for 30 years, 3 decades. 26 books published. And yet I still write a story, send it off to publishers, and it gets rejected. They don't want to publish it. Setbacks. Rejection is part of the path of being a creator. And it's just something that happens for all of us. Doesn't matter what it is we're wanting to do. Rejection is just a part of it. We can create something, we can make something, we can apply for a position, we can try to do something and have it rejected. How we respond to that, of course, matters. That means everything. It's not giving up. It's not giving in to those niggles of doubt and disbelief. I create a work, I create a book, and it doesn't sell well. And it doesn't sell well to the point that the publisher doesn't want to publish another one from me. Now I'm faced with a choice, aren't I, at that point? I mean, all the way through we're faced with this choice. Do I continue? Do I write? Do I keep writing? From the outside, people look in and, oh, wow, man, you've done so well. 26 books published, Awesome. Won awards. That's great. Good on you. They can even think that it was easy, because all they see is the finished products. They don't see the long line of rejection. The reality is, for each of my book published, there would have been 10 that were rejected. 10 stories that were rejected. Stories that I poured my heart and soul into. Stories that I really believed in. And then take, for example, Warrior Kids. That's a program, 28 years. I poured everything into that for 28 years, working with children, self-control and social skills. Changing their lives. Worked with thousands of children in schools and out in communities. There were times the program really got big and got a lot of attention. Other times, long periods of times, when nothing happened. I just kept running it. In and out, just kept running it. At times was like a still pond, Nothing, no water flowing into it, no path that it was continuing on. It was just this stillness. That in itself can feel like a setback, can't it? Like there's no movement, there's no progression, there's nothing happening. And even as I'm making this video, there has been this constant stream of loud vehicles coming behind, so I have to keep stopping. Right, so behind me outside is a road, and there's just been this constant stream of loud noise. Cars coming down and they're playing their beats, there's boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, da boom, as they're coming past. So every now and then I'm having to stop and to wait for it to go quiet. That's an edit. You're probably wondering sometimes with my videos, with all these edits, it's either because I'm mixing up my words, not speaking properly, or because I'm competing with big boom booms behind me, big sounds, big loud engines and big loud stereos, loud music. A moment ago it was sirens. And about 40 minutes ago, it was a helicopter when I was doing another video. Helicopter over the house. It's a busy place where I live, in the suburbs. Hi, just a quick word to say that my books, including my latest for children, are available in store and online. You can find a full list of my books at tipene.com. If you're enjoying my content, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for your support. Now back to the video. So, and speaking in schools, right, or just speaking generally, just doing audiences. There were times where I would go out there and I'll do my talks. Oh, just rave reviews, it was just wonderful. Same with my books in many ways, just rave reviews. It's awesome. This is just so much, wow, amazing, really good. That's nice. That's just part of it. Hey. Other times, negative reviews. Won't be getting him back to talk to our students again. Well, that book was a fizzer. Well, you can say that the feedback, whether positive or negative, shouldn't matter. But it does. Come on. It does. We know it does. It's good not to pay it any mind. Good not to give it any attention, not to feed it. Whether it's positive or negative, it's just sitting with it. But there are times where it comes and it's a setback for me. It really hits hard. All these complaints that are overshared, talking about my life, or that my books are. Example, there was some feedback with my Tipene books, because they deal with environmental stuff, and with a couple of reviewers got caught up with the whole global warming and that I was pushing some sort of agenda, which was just nonsense, absolute nonsense. Tipene stories for kids, and environment's something I've always loved and I care about. I'm not trying to push anything. It's stories, and when it comes to writing, I want to write whatever I want to write. The biggest setbacks for me, of course, is what's going on in here. Like I said, that when I get a negative feedback, or when I have a project or do something that just doesn't work out, it's what's happening here. This is what really matters. This is when my biggest battle, the real hardship for me, comes from. I've done so well in terms of breaking the cycle from my abusive childhood, from my traumatic childhood. And that took a lot of time and a lot of work. And I've come so far removed from it. However, what happens in my head is a different story, That's where the battle is a lot of the time. I'm battling with myself. So you have these external setbacks that happen. And it's how I respond to it. And this is where the showdown is, where it takes place. What's going on in my head? Start doubting myself, not feeling really good, about what I do. Start thinking about just wanting to give up. And I've been down that road many times. In some ways, when you succeed, it does get easier. When I got my first book published all those years ago, that spurred me on with the belief that I could do it again. And so there is the knowledge in me that I can do it. I can do it again. I think success certainly breeds success, certainly leads to further success. But with that, I think you reach more. It's like, okay, I got here. Well, then I'll reach out a bit further. And I'll try something different. I'll reach out a bit further and I'll try something bigger. Even more amazing, which opens to further rejection, further setbacks. There are days where nothing phases me. I'm ready to go and I think this is for all of us. There's days where, nothing will faze me and I'm ready to go and just keep moving forward, taking those steps, doing the job, getting it done. and I feel good about it. There are other days where I crash. I just fall. I don't feel positive. Don't feel good about what I'm doing, and it doesn't matter what I've done previously, what I've achieved. It means nothing because I still haven't reached to where it is I want to get to. For me, basically, it's always come back to I want to be in a position where I'm financially supporting my family. It's been a struggle up to this point for me. In all honesty, it has been a real struggle. This has been this real setback. I'm not talking, it's not about huge wealth or anything like that. It's just been this constant time of struggling to pay the bills. I'm not on here to complain about that. So I don't like to go into it. I don't want to talk about it. But, it's been a struggle. If anybody knows anything about writers or creators, majority of us are struggling. That's it. Well, we're not alone. Everybody is, especially now at the moment too. There's a lot of people struggling. If you look at the work that I've done, it's not exactly big money stuff. I mean, the dream is always there that one day I'm going to write a book that just soars and does really well. I mean, I'm not to say that my books haven't done it well, but, we all want a bestseller, international bestseller. That'd be nice. So when setbacks turn up, there have been times where I look at what I've done and it's like, what's the point? I got to go off and get money. I got to go off and do some other work to get money. Why should I bother with that? I should just get any old job and just do that and forget about this. Forget about being a writer. It was the same with Warrior Kids, because Warrior Kids wasn't a big money maker. Sure, I could have gone for funding, gone to the government and got funding, but I wasn't interested in that. It wasn't why I was doing it, and I really wanted Warrior Kids to stand on its own two legs. And it was a very successful program. It achieved what it needed to achieve, and it's not, for me, it's not all about money. But what I'm saying is that it wasn't about money and it didn't bring in big money. So through all that time when I was doing that work, with the Warrior Kids, the writing, even the speaking, it wasn't bringing in big income. And that in turn became a setback, especially when the bills come in. When the car breaks down, or when my teeth aren't in a good place, or, we're needing extra money. You know what it's like. But I've kept going. I've kept going. All the times that I thought about giving up, I proceeded and pushed through. To the point that there's 26 books done, more awards, and of course all the achievement with Warrior Kids. So certainly all worth it. And I know that I'm going to keep going, that I'm going to keep facing the setbacks and push on through. We've got to just keep pushing on through, don't we? It's a bit like trolls online. We can't feed them. We can't feed those niggles, the negativity. So when setbacks come in, the feelings or the thoughts that are induced from that are brought up, we can't feed them. We've got to take some time out, be with ourselves, go for a walk, do some exercise, eat healthy, spend some time with our loved ones or our pets. Pets are great. Really bring us back. Do something else, do something different for a little bit, and then come back. Sometimes for me, dealing with setbacks is just a matter of having some space and allowing myself to go through it, to process it, to find my way out the other side. There are days where that's really easy, fast, quick. There are other days where that's very difficult and takes some time. What I do is keep moving forward. Keep doing the things that I want to do. Keep heading along that path. When I'm really battling in here, it's a time for self-care. nurturing myself, looking after myself, being gentle. Good sleep, good food, exercise. As I said, being with my loved ones, being with the pets, taking some time, just being still. I'm stubborn though, too. I'm stubborn, very determined, and I refuse to give up. I'm not going to let things stop me. I'm not going to let things hold me back. There are times it feels like it's just not happening. Nothing's moving, I'm not getting to where I want to be. That who I am and what I do and what I've done isn't valued or wanted by the world. That is openly rejected. See, the battles. There are people out there who share my experience, who share my experiences, who can relate to what I'm talking about, connect with it. Sometimes what I do too is I overcompensate. So if I have something successful that's just happened, I use that energy to spur me on, to create a lot, to get a lot done, in order to make up for the time where I go into a lull, where the battle becomes too big, because, it comes. We're not always the same. We're on this path of ups and downs. And it's a very human experience that we're on. We're not always elated. We're not always happy. We have emotions for a reason, and a wide variety of emotions for a reason. And our body is designed to feel them. So we're going to feel them. We're going to experience them. Why else would they be there? It's part of life. It's natural. It's how we deal with it, of course. It's how we manage it. Not holding on to those emotions, but allowing them to shift through us, to be, not to cling to them, not to hold on to them, not to allow the thoughts, those negative thoughts, to hold those emotions. Sadness, grief, depression, anger. Those are just daily experiences. They come and go, like joy, happiness, fulfillment, peace, calm. It all comes and goes. We're very complex as beings, aren't we? It's quite amazing, quite unique, the experience to each of us. But we have those in us. It's part of the human experience. It's part of the human experience. So we're going to experience. And it's learning how to be with all that through each different stage of life. It's not a bad thing. It's not good, it's not bad, it just is. Just natural. We're just learning to be. And setbacks is a part of life. Things aren't always going to go our way. Sometimes, in fact, when things appear not to be going our way, in hindsight, later on, when time has passed, we can see actually that was the best thing that could have happened, the best outcome. So sometimes setbacks can actually serve a purpose and have a bigger place in the whole scheme of things. They don't always feel good. And there is the battle of going through them. But it all makes sense in the end. We can't always hold that in the present. So there are setbacks to overcome, and there are setbacks to be with and to value. What is important is that we can keep moving forward though. And it's the whole picture that matters, isn't it? I talked about my ups and downs with the writing, my ups and downs with Warrior Kids and with my speaking. But now, if we were to take that as a whole and look at it, yeah, there were times those years were hard. Times it was a slog. Times I wasn't sure I was going to be able to meet the bills and make all the payments. But now look at it. Look at what's there. Look at what I have achieved. Look at what my life has amounted to. And I've still got a long way to go. Wow, it's pretty amazing. And it can't be taken away from me. It's there. It's done. Setbacks will keep coming. And I will still keep moving. I've done it once. I know I can do it again. I've achieved, and I can achieve more. Setbacks have value. They have their place. There are those that we have to overcome, and then there are those that in the scheme of things are for the best. There are books that I didn't get published, which I'm glad that didn't get published. And overall, what represents my life and my time here on earth looks pretty good. I did okay. I've done pretty well. I did good. I did good. So go forward in your life for what you're wanting, for what you're wanting to achieve, and for your goals. Setbacks are okay. They're gonna happen. It's part of life, and we can be with them. We can get through them. We can be okay. We are okay. If you're enjoying my content, like, share, and subscribe. Talk soon.